Frontier has recently announced that station interiors are going to be part of the Odyssey update. However, it seems that ship interiors are not, and that made me wonder why that is. Today's video is sponsored by SecretLab. We all strive for the best possible gaming experience, but the importance of a good quality chair is often underestimated. SecretLab produces some of the most comfortable and high quality gaming chairs you can get. So upgrade your Commander chair today and fly in style and comfort. Follow the link in the video description to their store, type in your height, your weight, and it will tell you which chairs fit you for the best possible seating experience. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous with Outworth Astronomy. So today I want to talk about ship versus station interiors and why I think Frontier has gone for stations rather than ships. Obviously this video is going to be my own point of view and there's going to be some speculations in there as well. So I do encourage you to go down into the comment section and give me your point of view if you agree or disagree. Now the main reason I think Frontier has gone for station interiors is simply the developing effort versus actual playable content in the game. Now, while stations obviously are bigger than ships, there are also a lot fewer different types of stations than ships available. So I think overall it is going to be a smaller effort to make station interiors compared to ship interiors. And the way I see it, pretty much everything you could do in terms of gameplay with ship interiors could just as well be done with station interiors. And allow me to give you some examples. And again, these are just some ideas that I have that I think could be cool. It could, for instance, be going and explore a crashed ship. Well, obviously you couldn't do that if there's no interiors, but I see no reason why Frontier wouldn't be able to add deorbit stations. And maybe they have then become, I don't know, like outpost for criminals or bandits, and you can then go in there and shoot up all the bandits and take the loot and go and back to your ship and sell it or something like that. Yes, you could do the same thing with ships, but you could very easily also do this with stations. Boarding action can be a little bit more difficult, but I can definitely see it being done. All across Elite, there are these installations scattered across the bubble. These can be anything from medical centers to pirate hideouts. So imagine that you fly into one of those, you shoot some spaceships, and you make the way to the outpost, you dock up, you walk inside, and you walk through the outpost shooting up bandits, or go in and rescue someone, or whatever it is that you want to do. Go in and deliver a package. I don't know what type of missions that would be. You would kind of get that boarding action feeling from it. It wouldn't be true boarding actions. Obviously, you wouldn't go into the other ship, but still, you would go in, you would attack this small installation and complete whatever objective that you have. So I think this is one of the reasons why Frontier has gone with stations rather than ships, simply because you can do a lot of the same things with stations if you're a little creative that you could do with ships. Now I want to draw some parallels here to Star Citizen, and before you head into the comment and begin to rage down there of the never-ending alpha that is Star Citizens, but you can't argue that it does have fully modeled ship interiors and fully modeled station interiors. And having sunk quite a few hours into the game, I do really enjoy walking around just exploring ships and stations. However, after you kind of seen a ship 2 or 3 times, it's meh. There's not that much to do. You explore it, it's a great experience to explore, but once you explore the ship, there's not that much more to do. Now, you could make the same argument for station interiors that, well, once you explored it once or twice, the news value is kind of gone. But I can still see there being a lot more added to stations that you wouldn't be able to do with ships. Of course, you have the social hubs that we already know are going to be in Odyssey, where you can go and you can meet up with other people to join up on missions or whatever. Also the options to add stores where you can go and buy clothes, armor, weapons, those kind of things. Stations will also work as a great platform for mission locations. So you could again argue, yes, you could do the same with ship interiors, but I think here stations would probably work a little better. It makes more sense. I'm not just talking space stations, obviously also ground-based stations. It makes a little bit more sense to have those as mission locations rather than maybe a ship floating out in space somewhere. So I think it adds a lot more options and a lot more room to play for Frontier. I think going back to where we started with the developing effort, the fact that you have stations and they are so massive, they are Obviously, I don't think they're going to model the full interior of all the stations. They're just going to model certain areas around the station. But because the stations are so large, they have pretty free options in terms of like how they want to shape the different areas. Something they don't have with ships. With ships, they would be forced to go in and say, we have to work in this relatively confined space, have to try and fit everything in, and it makes it, I think, a lot more difficult to model ship interiors compared to stations, where you're a little bit more free to make the shape kind of fit what you want to do, rather than have to try and cram whatever it is you want to do into an already predefined shape. Now, ship interiors also pose quite a few problems that I don't think is that easy to solve. You have to remember that we're going to be playing both people with and without Odyssey together at the same time, and they need to be playing at a level playing field. Right now, we can do reboot and repair. We can repair all our modules right from our cockpit, and people who don't buy Odyssey, obviously they will still be able to do that. Some of the content that would make sense to add for ship interiors would be you have to go back to repair modules, or if you want to get out on your SRV or your fighter, you have to run back to get that hangar and then jump into the fighter and launch it out the catapult. This will add a huge disadvantage to people playing with Odyssey if you look at this in a combat scenario. Imagine this: two people equally skilled flying the same ship. One suddenly get a module damage and need to maybe do a reboot and repair, or get an AFMU to begin to repair that module. If you play without Odyssey, you can just go right click on your UI and you're good to go. Or alternatively, if you play with Odyssey, you would have to get out of your chair, run back, repair the module, run back to the helm again in order to continue flying. And all that time, nobody's flying your ship and you're sitting duck. That would mean, well, you would then still have the option to do it from the cockpit so that everybody's on the same playing field. But then I see it mostly as, again, a role-playing thing that you add this option to go back and repair if you can do it from the cockpit. Realistically, how often are you going to actually get out of your seat to go back to click a thing back somewhere in the ship if you could just go and do like 10 seconds and click it in the UI right next to you? If they have to add content for ship interiors, it would have to be something brand new. And I just don't know what it is. If you have ideas, by all means post them in the comment section, because it would be very interesting to read that. But it would have to be something brand new, something we can't do from the cockpit today, that would add a reoccurring gameplay, something you would go back and do again and again, not just something you would go look at it once and say, that was pretty, that was fun, now I don't have to ever do it again. So the more I've been thinking about it, it makes more and more sense to me why Frontier's gone with stations rather than ship interiors. And I am very much looking forward to when we begin to get some actual gameplay footage of how this is going to look, how it's going to work, what are we going to be able to do. And of course also get my own hands on it and try it out for myself when the thing launches at the beginning of next year. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little speculation video. If you did, give a like, subscribe to the channel for more Elite Dangerous Odyssey content. And until next time, I will see you guys in space.